Well. A lot has been going on with R. Kelly's case. And I wanted to come on here a couple of days ago when I found out that Greg Landfair had died, but I decided to wait because I knew we had the Curcio hearing coming up, and I knew we had the status hearing in Chicago coming up, and I just wanted to wait and do a video about everything that has been going on. So, like I said, Greg Landfair died. And if y'all don't know who Greg Landfair is, he is the father of Rashana Landfair. And Rashana Landfair is the young woman that prosecutors claim was in the infamous sex tape that R. Kelly went on trial for in 2008. And for 20 years, Greg Landfair denied that it was his daughter in the tape. You know, he said, no, that's not my daughter. Nah. And R. Kelly was rightfully acquitted. You know, and Greg Landfair continued to work for R. Kelly, continued to play guitar on his albums after the 2008 trial. And he was at concerts. I think he went to the Black Panties tour, and he was at the Love Letter tour. So they maintained a relatively close working relationship until 2019, when Greg flipped the script. And he said, yes, that's my daughter. He told the feds, yes, that's my daughter. And R. Kelly forced me to lie, and I was in fear of my life, and he obstructed justice. So that's how R. Kelly got that obstruction charge. It was because of the Landfairs flipping the script after 20-something years of saying that it wasn't that girl in the tape. All of a sudden, 2019 comes around. They tell the feds a different story. And they become top witnesses for the federal government. And Greg Landfair was set to testify against R. Kelly in the Chicago case. But God said, you know what? Your time is up, and I got to call you on home. So Greg Landfair is no longer with us. And while we do not celebrate death, I don't celebrate anyone's death because it's bad luck. You know, I'm very excited that he is no longer able to get on the stand and tell lies on R. Kelly, because we all know he wasn't in fear of his life. Because if you're in fear of your life, you don't continue to work with somebody after, you know, they put you in fear and force you to testify and say it wasn't your daughter. You wouldn't work with him. You would distance yourself. You would say, okay, I did what you want me to do. Now let me distance myself and get the fuck on. He didn't do that. He did not do that. He still hung around R. Kelly. He still ran around town talking about how much, I this for R. Kelly, this, rob. And he always praised R. Kelly up until 2019, you know. So Greg Landfair is dead, y'all. Greg Landfair is dead. Another thing that happened today, actually, was the Curcio hearing. A continuation of the Curcio hearing that had happened a couple weeks ago, where they were trying to make sure Nicole Becker is fit to be one of R. Kelly's attorneys, and they were sorting all of that out. But today, Nicole, according to the New York Daily News, accidentally referred to the accusers as girls. And Judge Donnelly said, no. Don't call them girls. Call them women. They're women. They're grown women. And when I read that, I was like, what? Judge Donnelly finally admits that these women that they have been calling girls, the prosecution was calling them girls. Judge Donnelly has called them girls in the past. All of a sudden now, she's correcting Nicole and saying to call them women. Well, if they were all women, then why is R. Kelly still in jail? Because we've been saying that they were women from the jump. We've been saying that they were grown from the jump. So now that Judge Donnelly finally sees the light And she finally agrees that all of these hoes was grown women who chose to suck dick and chose to do whatever they wanted to do with R. Kelly. Now, she needs to do the honorable thing and release that innocent man. R. Kelly is wrongfully incarcerated. Now that she said out her own mouth, and I'm glad she said it to Nicole. I'm glad that Nicole accidentally called them girls, because now Nicole could come back at a later date when Judge Donnelly tries to act like, oh, these are innocent minors. She can say, Yana, remember when you said at the Curcio hearing that these were grown women? You just implied that R. Kelly was innocent, Your Honor. So why the hell is he still here? That's the next thing I would have asked. That's what Nicole should have said. I'm glad you told me that they're grown women, Your Honor. Now I want you to drop all charges against my client. That's what I would have told her. They're grown women. None of them are minors. None of them were minors at the time. They were all of the age of consent, which is what we, R. Kelly fans and R. Kelly supporters, have been saying since this whole shit started. None of these were innocent girls tiptoeing through the tulips. They were grown women who were already sucking and fucking and doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do before they met R. Kelly. R. Kelly didn't force them to do shit. They were already hoeing. They just decided, you know what? I might as well fuck the king of R&B, because I'm fucking on these little boys out here who don't got no money. I might as well go over there and suck and fuck on the king of R&B. So that's why they did it. They were tired of them young boys. They wanted some grown man dick. Grown older man dick. And that's what they did. This is not a criminal case. R. Kelly should have never been charged. Judge Donnelly had a Freudian slip. She finally admitted that there are no victims because she said they are grown women. She said, Nicole, these are grown women. Call them grown women. Judge Ann Donnelly is such a crazy lunatic. I'm so glad she slipped up and said that today. Hallelujah. Another thing that happened was the status hearing in Chicago. And Judge Lineweber decided to postpone R. Kelly's trial. You know, the Chicago trial was supposed to start in September. And now that has been postponed. And they're going to have a status conference on August 17th, or August 18th, to figure out, you know, when the trial is supposed to start in Chicago. I think they should just go on and drop the Chicago case. They should just go on and drop the Chicago case and let that be. He already going on trial in New York. Chicago need to go on and drop their charges. This whole thing is ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? What do y'all think about Judge Donnelly finally admitting that these are grown women? And they were grown women at the time they were fucking and sucking on R. Kelly. How do y'all feel about that? I'm glad that she said it. Thank God for Nicole. I think Nicole called them girls on purpose to see what Judge Donnelly was going to say. And I'm glad we have it on record that Judge Donnelly said these are grown women. That's why they gave him a prostitution charge under the Mann Act, under the RICO. That's why they call them Jane Does. They say these girls are prostitutes. I mean, these grown women are prostitutes. Lord have mercy. This is a joke. R. Kelly still has not been given full access to his attorneys. His attorneys don't have internet access when they come to see him. They can't take in, I think they can't take in a laptop or something. Something they were saying in the paperwork, the motion. No, they can't have sticky notes and they can't have highlighters. They can't bring in a lot of stuff. And R. Kelly is not being treated for his diabetes in the right way. They're ignoring his health. And I'm really concerned about the diabetes because R. Kelly didn't have diabetes before he got locked up. He didn't have diabetes until he went to jail because he wasn't able to exercise and move around like he wanted because COVID kept him in his cell. You know, they were trying to make them social distance. So they didn't have him going outside and they weren't able to exercise. And, you know, R. Kelly's a very active person. He was always, you know, a relatively slim man. He always had a nice shape. He never had these sort of health problems until he got locked up. And I think that it's time for his lawyers to sue the MDC or put in a motion for R. Kelly to be able to get more time in the exercise room or something. You know, R. Kelly needs more time to work out, you know, to keep his diabetes under control. And he needs his insulin and he needs whatever vitamins and supplements he needs to maintain his health. And he hasn't been getting that while he's been locked up. The whole situation is crazy, you know. God bless R. Kelly. No access to proper health care for the past 2 years. Stuck in a nasty cell. He caught tuberculosis. I know when he gets out of there, the first thing he's going to do is probably take a 2-hour hot shower. That's the first thing I would do. If I've been in jail for over 2 years, the first thing I'm doing is taking a 2-hour hot shower. And I'm just scrubbing. And I'm having the doctor come over and give me all sorts of antibiotics to get rid of whatever germs I picked up. It's insane. It's insane. But anyway, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, and fuck anybody who don't like him. And also, shout out to Judge and Donnelly for finally admitting that those hoes are grown women and not innocent little girls.